Count Cavity and Uncle Infinite are two really cool recolors from Yokai Watch 1. By looking at them, you'd assume these two S ranks hold a lot of power and hold up in competitive. However, these yokai have never seen any competitive play in 2 or 3. In 2, the meta was too niche for them to see any play despite their amazing stats. Meanwhile in 3, the wider meta as well as some select items could have made them much more viable. However, they took large nerfs to their stats and moves, and therefore couldn't keep up with power creep. But how bad were these nerfs? Are they as bad as I'm making out to be? That's what we'll be discussing in this video, as we look at how nerfed were Count Cavity and Uncle Infinite actually. False Swipe gaming parodies out of the way, let's first look at Count Cavity. Count Cavity is a black recolor of Beelzebub. He has always been S rank, so you have to take up one of your valuable S slots to use him. Usually these S slots are reserved for yokai like Dr. Nocturne, or what's his name? Eldorado, where you want to build around them, but Count Cavity doesn't really have anything specific you want to build around. These are stats in Yokai Watch 2. He has amazing strength and spirit, and extreme critical as a skill, which is hard enough to build around into because there isn't like any whisper support you can use, so you kind of have to rely on something like a double soul to actually get your crit boosted, but it can be nice sometimes, especially since his attack hits 5 times, so you have a good amount of opportunities to crit. These are his moves in 2. Both powerful basic attacks, a great elementalist ultimate with a poisoning effect, and an alright poison in spirit. This is great, I hear you cry, but why wasn't he used? Well, while he was good stat and move wise, he couldn't keep up with the incredibly niche metagame of 2. There wasn't very much crit boosting, so it was hard to make use of his skill. So what changes in Yokai Watch 3? Well, the meta changes so much that it seems that Count Cavity would be a top tier meta threat. There are now yokai like the Whispers and Glumdango, so not just lightspeed yokai can use crit effectively. His attack, while the damage was nerfed, does now drop life and spirit orbs more often, which can be really helpful. Finally, he gets access to Foiled Soul and Nocturne Soul, so he can make use of both of his attacking stats on Nocturne teams. So why do people use Wrong Neck instead? It's not because of Wrong Neck's B rank, it's actually because Count Cavity got nerfed hard. His spirit in this image of Yokai Watch 2 is 157. That's pretty high. So what is it in 3? 40 This is criminal. We're thinking nerfing him this hard. He did nothing wrong. I get nerfing yokai like Shogun Yan, Salamander, and Sergeant Burley and whoever else, but Countess did not summon in Yokai Watch 2. There was nothing you had to nerf there. And not only that, his soul ultimate went from 160 power to 74. 74. Look at that. That is the most depressing thing I've seen all day. And I've seen my school. If that's not an unfortunate nerf, I don't know what is. I feel much worse for Count than Uncle in terms of stat nerfs and move nerfs, since Uncle is actually still decently usable. Let's get into that. Uncle Infinite is a... Uncle Infinite is a black recolor of Papa Bold. Anyway, in Yokai Watch 2 he had one of the highest non-legend base stat totals in the game, having 100 points or over in all of his stats. His ultimate had amazing base power, being 250 at level 1. Just imagine how crazy it would be at the max level. I have to imagine anyway. Will only sent me the level 1 moves. Thanks for the images, Will. Go sub to Games with Will, he's a pretty cool streamer of Yokai Watch 2. He's mainly why I don't do Yokai Watch 2 videos, and him and Tuna Poglugo you should also subscribe to, because they're going to start making Yokai Watch 2 content very soon, and I do not plan to touch that as a whole different demon. Anyway, his spirit was a very high strength boost, with just some very nice extra support. His skill is intimidation, which prevents loafing for both sides. It makes the games more consistent for both ends, which can be good and bad, but it's a generally nice addition to games people won't really complain about. Everyone except the one guy out there trying to use Cricky and quit in serious games. I aspire to be like that guy. So now with the changes made in 3, let's start positive. Uncle Infinite's offensive stats were actually buffed, making them around the same range. This means he can potentially be an amazing mixed attacker since they're both over 150. He could most easily do this with a Nocturne and Foiled Soul similar to the Count. Also similarly to the Count, Uncle got absolutely fucking murdered by the nerfs. His speed got quartered. What happened to him in the generational shift? I like to think he just gained a load of weight. He let himself go because fucking Anti-Heart left him. His moveset is also nerfed. Practice Punch went from 90 to 70 base power, and its ultimate went from 250 to 140 at level 1. 140. It also only hits 3 tiles, so it's a pretty nice ultimate to use. It's not a bad base power, but it could have been so much more. Uncle wasn't nerfed nearly as badly as Count in my opinion, since he can still function well as a mixed attacker, due to his speed and move nerfs. But they're still both pretty hard to use and generally unviable in Yokai Watch 3. What do you think of these two? Have you used them well before? Let me know in the comments and have a good day.